Welcome to our channel NEET Talks. Myself Upasona Panday. I'm a first Prof Medicos from NILRATAN SIRCAR Medical College and Hospital. We have already started our discussion on the chapter Digestion and Absorption. In this video, we will be seeing the wall of the alimentary canal. We have already explored the various organs of the alimentary canal. In this video, we are supposed to start with the wall of the alimentary canal. This is our familiar picture from our NCERT. It shows the 4 layers of the alimentary canal. The outermost layer, that is our serosa. This is serosa. Then there are 2 muscular layers, outer longitudinal and inner circular. Then our submucosa, this is mucosa, and this is the lumen of our alimentary canal. Right? So these are the 4 layers. Now, when we talk of the serosa, this is the outermost layer of the alimentary canal. It is made up of the mesothelial cells. The mesothelial cells forms the serosal layer. Now, what the serosa is made up of? Our abdominal viscera are not supported by any structures. So, there has to be some mechanism to hold the abdominal viscera at position. For that, our body has developed a balloon-like structure, that is the peritoneum, that holds all the abdominal viscera in positions. How does that happen? Suppose this is our balloon, right? And this balloon, in this balloon, the abdominal viscera are embedded. How is that? Suppose this is the balloon and here the abdominal viscera are going to be embedded. So, it will take the shape to provide the space for the abdominal viscera to get embedded, right? Here, the abdominal viscera will be residing. So, you see, the outermost layer of the abdominal viscera are formed by this layer of the peritoneum. This is the visceral layer of the peritoneum. So, the visceral layer of the peritoneum forms the serosa of the alimentary canal. Why visceral layer? It is the parietal layer. And this is the visceral layer. Why visceral? Because it lines the viscera. That's why this is a visceral layer. And it is formed of mesothelial cells. This is all about our serosa. And also some connective tissues are present to give structural support. Right? Now, we'll come to our muscular layer. Muscular layer, that is smooth muscles. Why smooth muscles? Because it is not under our control. We cannot control the peristaltic movement. We cannot think that, yes, now we have to give a peristaltic movement. Yes, we have given that. No, we cannot do like that. It occurs involuntarily without our knowledge. Whenever we take in food, the peristaltic movements occur. We even don't know. But it's occurring all throughout our alimentary canal. So this is not a voluntary muscle. This is an involuntary muscle. And this is smooth muscle. There are 2 layers. Okay. The outer longitudinal and inner circular. How I used to remember this, that when we talk of the earthworm, the body of earthworm also contains 2 muscular layers. The outer circular and the inner longitudinal, right? So, when we talk of this earthworm, we can assume the structures like this. Suppose there is a pile of bamboo sticks. And we have to bind that bamboo sticks together. For that, we take the help of a rope. So the bamboo sticks are tied from around the periphery with the help of a rope. The rope resembles the circular muscles and the bamboo stick resembles the longitudinal muscles. This is the case of our earthworm. And when we start reading our NCERT book, this earthworm wala portion comes in the human tissue wala chapter. That chapter comes much before our human physiology. So we have learned the earthworm before we learn our digestive system, right? I used to remember like this. So this is the case of earthworm, and the case of human digestive system, just the reverse. The outer layer will be longitudinal muscles and the inner layer will be circular muscles. I used to remember the earthworm, which comes before in our NCERT, and then the contrast case is for our alimentary canal, right? This is our muscular layer. Then we have the submucosal layer. The submucosal layer is formed of the connective tissues. The connective tissues, it contains the blood vessels, the nerves, right? This is our submucosal layer. And then we have the mucosa. This mucosa further has 3 layers. The layer of the epithelial cells that lines the lumen, that surrounds the lumen, that is the epithelial cells. So the first layer being the epithelial cells. Then we have a thin layer which is called the lamina propria. The lamina propria, right? That lamina propria is formed of the connective tissues, loose connective tissues, and that gives a moist lining to the epithelial cells and separates the muscularis mucosa from the epithelial cells. What is that muscularis mucosa? And that is a thin layer of muscles that is present in our alimentary canal. With the mucosa of the alimentary canal, the outermost layer of the mucosa, that is the muscularis mucosa. Now we'll look into these structures, right? So let's see. This is a nice illustrations showing the various layers of our alimentary canal. So we were talking about the layers of the mucosa. So this is the mucosa in total, and we are finding 3 layers. The outer is the muscularis mucosa, then the lamina propria, and then you see a deep yellow lining you can find around the lumen. That is our epithelial cells that lines our lumen of the alimentary canal. So this lamina propria, you see this thin region, this is made up of loose connective tissues, and that provides a moist lining to the epithelial cells. This is the mucosal layer, right? Then this is the submucosal layer. You see the nerves and the vessels. It is formed of connective tissue. Then you see the outer longitudinal and the inner circular muscles, right? And then this is our serosal layer, that is the visceral layer of the peritoneum. We are clear with this? We are clear with this, right? Now there are 2 nerve plexuses that provides the innervation to our alimentary canal. The parasympathetic innervation to the alimentary canal is given by 2 nerve plexuses. The first one is the Meissner plexus and the second one is the Orbeck's plexus or Mainteric plexus. This Meissner plexus is present in between the submucosa and the inner circular muscle. The Meissner plexus is present in this layer, in between the submucosa and the inner circular muscle. And the Orbeck's plexus, that is another nerve plexus that is present in between the 2 layers of the muscles, that is the inner circular and the outer longitudinal. You see this nerve plexus, that is the Orbeck's plexus, and this is the Meissner plexus. These are all about the basic discussion of the wall of the alimentary canal. Now you will go through these notes, right? You see these notes, and this is our familiar picture from NCERT which I have already shown you. These are the notes, and now we will look into the modification at various levels of this wall of the alimentary canal at various organs. We will start with the modification of the mucosa at the small intestine. This mucosa layer is modified to give rise to small projections in the small intestine that increases the surface area of the small intestine for better digestion and better absorption. More surface area means the enzymes will be able to act on the food particles over a more surface area, right? And more surface area will result into more absorption, right? So these are the villi. You see this modification, these are the villi, right? So it has a upward projection, that is the villi, and also some depressions in between the adjacent villi, that is the crypts of the liver cone, right? The crypts of the liver cone. Now this is lined by the epithelial cells. These epithelial cells are known as the enterocytes, and when we look at this microscopic level, we will find the comb-like appearance, the brass-like appearance, that is the brass border. That is the brass border. Those are known as the microvilli. These microvilli are present for better absorption and better movement. This microvilli. So these are the villi. These are the projections from the mucosal layer, and the brass border appearance of the enterocytes are the microvilli. These villi along with the microvilli present on the enterocytes help in better absorption and better digestion of the food. And this is the crypt of liver cone, and we have vessels here. This villi further contains the vessels. You see these vessels? These are the artery of the crypts and these are the veins of the crypts. This forms the capillaries. Why capillaries? Because it will absorb the food. The villi, its function is to help in better absorption, so it has to be supplied with a huge blood supply. That is why the capillaries, the networks of capillaries are formed in this villi. It also contains the lymphatic vessels, that is the lacteal, that helps in the absorption of our lipid molecules are absorbed in these lacteals, right? Are we clear with this villi? Right? Now we will look into the rugae. What is that rugae? That rugae is the modification of the mucosal layer in our stomach. In the stomach, this rugae, that is the mucosal folds are present. That is a modification of the mucosal layer in the stomach, right? It helps in better digestion of the food. That is its function. It increases the surface area for the better digestion of the food. That's all about the mucosal modification. Look, now we will discuss about the modification of the submucosal layer. In the esophagus, this submucosa contains esophageal glands. Esophageal glands are present, and in the small intestine, this has a significant structure. The Brunner's gland are present in the submucosa of the small intestine. We will discuss about the role of the Brunner's gland when we will be dealing with the digestion. This is an important modification, that is the presence of the Brunner's gland in the submucosal layer of the small intestine. And this the muscle layer that develops a third layer of muscle, that is the oblique muscle. You see, these are the oblique muscles that is present in the stomach at some regions, not throughout the stomach, but at some regions for the better contraction. Just remember, for the better contraction, these oblique muscles are present. With this, we are done with today's discussion. We have discussed about the wall of the alimentary canal and its modifications at various regions. So, in the next video, we will be talking about the associated glands. Go through all the notes, listen to the video carefully, and if you face any problem, do let me know. Comment below, like the video, hit the like button if you like it, and if you're new to our channel, please subscribe the channel. Thank you, bye bye, take care.